So imagine buying FIFA, The Sims, paying $55 billion to own all of those companies. And that's exactly what just happened. Electronic Arts, or known as EA. I know EA Sports from like, I don't know how many years since like when I was very, very young playing FIFA. So it's super, super interesting. I want to go through this, but basically that company is being taken private in the biggest leverage buyout ever. And the guy who played a key role here is Jared Kushner, who's basically Donald Trump's son-in-law, one of the most impressive young guys I've seen in a while. So super, super excited to share this. Today I'll break down exactly how that deal works. I'll share which parts made and will make money for Kushner, and even how you can try, I don't know, call it similar steps, even if it's just you trying to buy your first business. So yeah, let's go. So and yeah, just quickly, if you don't know me, I'm Moran Pober. I'm founder of acquisitions.com. At this point, we've been involved in more than $1 billion worth of transactions. And if you want to buy a business with our help, click the links below and book a call with our team. So let's get started. Today I'm trying this new thing with the board thing. So let's see how that goes, right? So I'm going to play with this and let's see how well that go. And if you hate this, then tell me in the chat. If you like that, then tell me in the chat as well. All right, so let's get started, right? Here are some of my notes and thoughts on the deal, and I'll just free flow, so bear with me. All right, so let's start with just a bit of a background and terms you need to know, right? So EA is basically a video game company, right? It's a video game company that makes super big franchises like Maiden, FIFA, EA Sport FC is right now the new name FIFA. The Sims, probably heard about The Sims, and Battlefield, right? So like Sims, FIFA, that was pretty much my childhood, right? So right? So video game company, and bear with me. It's gonna be interesting for me to go through this new thing. So I'm not the best at, I guess, my quality of video, but the actual content is going to be super amazing. So bear with me for just a bit more. All right, so it's a video game company, right? In September, basically 25, EA agreed to be bought for $55 billion by a group that includes Silver Lake, Saudi Arabia, a public investment fund, which basically is PIF, and Affinity Partners, which basically Kushner's firm, right? So September, that's the deal. Da, 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 da. Those are the companies, September 25. And I'll probably just put a link to the resources as well. Let me see if I can add a link here or not. Let's see if I can do that. Let's try. Is this clickable? Yes, it does. Super cool. So yeah, if you want that, I'm gonna probably write a law. So if you want all that, yep, it works. Sweet. See, so I've just done some research in my AI and collected a lot of information. So if you want access to this board, comment below or something, and I'll tell my team to comment back and share with you how to do that. So what's the deal? EA shareholders, they're going to pay basically, as far as price, they're going to pay, we'll get $210 per share cash, and it's basically a 25% premium over what the stock was trading at before the deal news, right? I'll search some research for that as well on this one. The deal includes $36 billion in equity, $20 billion debt. So those are basically loans from banks, and it's led by JP Morgan. So let me share some of that information. It's pretty cool because I mean, even when you're doing small deals, I mean, it's pretty much the same process. As you can see, it can be a $55 million business or a $5 million business. The process is still the same. And the target is to close the deal at basically Q1 of 2027. So we have some time, right? Because you need regulatory shareholder approvals and all those things. And yeah, fortunately, that takes time. Small business, you just need like a few weeks or let's say 2 months on average of due diligence. All right, so that's the deal, the high level in a nutshell. Let's move now to some key terms. I'm going to be real quick at that because I don't want to make it like a newbie video, but I think it's really important to just walk through just a few of those real quick. So leverage buyout, because we're going to talk the rest of the video about all those things. Leverage buyout is basically buying a company using mostly borrowed money, so debt, which the company itself must pay back over time, usually with the business cash flow. Equity is basically the cash that investors put in for shares of the business. Debt, that's basically the loans or bonds, and that's, I mean, usually you need to pay interest on that. Probably want to know things like rollover stake. That's when an existing shareholder, like the Saudi, the PIF, the Saudi Public Investment Fund, are basically existing. Basically, are here the existing shareholder. They keep some of their shares in the new structure. That's what the rollover equity basically means. It means that the existing shareholders keep some of their shares in the new structure. Alrighty, so let's move to the fun stuff, right? As we have basics. So basically, you need to know leverage buyout. You buy business, use the cash flow of the business to pay for the debt. You raise debt from banks and institutions, pay interest, you raise equity and give percentage in the business. Rollover means that basically you're going to retain equity in the new structure. Alrighty, so how Kushner and Affinity is the his company name, his fund name, how they make money when he and let's talk also about what role he played, right? So from what I've found, just from management fees, Affinity was seated with $2 billion from public from PIF, and Affinity gets 1.25% annual management fee on that commitment from June. Let me share with you the numbers. So Affinity, those numbers, I mean, that's fun. That's some fun stuff, right? That's for management fee, right? As far as management fee, this is the situation. And Affinity gets 1.2 on that commitment. So that's like very common, right? And I'll probably share some link to those resources. Here you go. And as of 2024, Affinity closed basically $157 million total fees from foreign investors. $87 million was just from PIF. I mean, what Kushner is doing with the Saudis is just playbook on how to raise capital. And basically, I mean, probably from what he's doing and Trump is just amazing. It's insane. Like they're bringing world peace to an area that never had that in mind. So it's pretty cool. Alrighty, let's talk about the equity stake, carry, and upside. So in the EA buyout, some insiders say that Affinity will own 5% of EA in the new structure. If EA grows and the exit multiple increase, that 5% stake can be very valuable. Right? So let me share that. Reuters. So Affinity will own 5% of EA. Not too bad. With $55 billion company. Plus, so let me just make that nice. And yeah, I need to work on my skills here. Kushner is said to have brokered the initial connection between EA and PIF using his political and Saudi relationships. And his role was basically unlocking the deal. Like, just imagine. So we don't know whether he got a special transaction fee, maybe like 0.5 or 1% of the deal. It just not publicly disclosed from what I found. And we don't know the exact dollar amount of his carry or monitoring fees is private, right? So it's very interesting. It's a massive deal. There's a big chance that he's going to get around 1% of the deal just for brokering everything, potentially even more. Who knows? He's going to get potentially involved in the operations. I'll show you in a bit how that's going to look like because he got an AI business. So that's very interesting. So let's go through kind of like the deal, how that looks like, and what you can learn from that. So in a deal, in a nutshell, like those are the steps, right? You can say there's the fourth step here as well, right? This post-deal implementation, but why it's not getting this? Yep, still here. I don't know why it won't disappear. So let's go through each one of them, right? To get a deal like that done, you need deal flow, you need analysis, you need financing, and you need to have some post-deal plan, right? So here's how I see what Kushner did and what you can learn from that. So with deal flow, when it comes to deal flow, I mean, what you can learn from that. Obviously, Kushner got this sector. Maybe he just played FIFA and he likes that, or he played Sim, and I don't know, he just got connected to everyone in the world right now. And he's like, hey, that would be a fun company to have. So he's basically used his passion, excitement, maybe experience, maybe he played those games. I don't know, right? But he probably went to a business that he like and is excited about. So for you, what can you choose as far as the sector, right? What can you go choose a sector that you understand? I don't care if it's a local service, if it's an agency, if it's a digital business, but like sector, pick something from your passion, excitement, experience, background, right? To pick this sector. Then to get a deal flow going, so obviously Jared Kushner can pretty much get connected to anyone in the world, probably at this point in a phone call. But for you, you probably want to get some warm outreach thing going on, right? Or you'll probably want to get some outbound going on. All right. So warm outreach can be to past business owners, industry groups, accountants, lawyers. Outbound can be you just listing 20, 50, 100 people and just send them well-crafted letters or emails or LinkedIn messages. Then we move to the analysis. So what do you need? I'm sure it looks like they're just getting into a proper due diligence right now, but I'm sure they've done a lot of prior due diligence before they even made an offer, obviously. So things you want to know and understand when you're doing due diligence is some kind of things about, actually, you know what, I'll be really fast about that because I think for those of you guys who are not newbies, I'm going to talk a lot about kind of like how I see Jared is going to implement AI in this business with his other company that most people don't know about, but he owns another company, Brainco, with Elad Gil, which is one of the best investors in the Silicon Valley. And I think this is the real key of making this deal super interesting. So I'll just quickly go through this stuff because I don't want to bore you guys who are not newbies. But in a nutshell, I'll just quickly go through this, right? You need financials, you need to understand the numbers, you need to look for inefficiencies that you can improve. Then, if you want to raise capital, like talk to banks, prepare your pitch, have a model, have your risk mitigation, try to get seller financing, earnouts, try to raise capital from equity investors if you need. You can raise from even potential partners and executives to join you and tell them, hey, I got 5% I can give you if you help me operate that business, right? Things like that. I talk about it in hundreds of other business videos. Go and watch them. And then post deal, and this is where I'm going to expand a lot about. I think this is very, very interesting, and this is Kushner's play. And I'm going to talk about kind of like how I think that he's going to implement AI automations and tech. Yeah, so let's go through that. Actually, before we talk about Kushner's, what he could do with EA after Biden, I think you all got to understand his new company that's quietly shaping the next wave of AI. So the name of the company is Brain Co. And I mentioned that for a second, but it started in 2024 with basically a single question Jared asked investor Elad Gil over a coffee. The question was basically, why aren't the world's biggest institutions actually using the best AI talent? And the conversation turned into BrainCo, an AI operating system company built to connect world-class AI engineers with government and Fortune 500 companies that need real-world automation. So today, BrainCo has raised about $30 million Series A led by Elad Gil. He's an early investor in Airbnb, Stripe, OpenAI, and also Affinity Partners, which is Kushner's own fund. It's also partnered with OpenAI and now works with more than 10 global 2,000 customers across healthcare, energy, hospitality, and government. The team of that company, just to give you an idea of what is building here, right? It includes veterans from Google Brain, Databricks, Tesla, DeepMind, advisors and investors like Naval Ravikant, Reid Hoffman, and many, many other super, super successful and known people. BrainCo builds basically an AI brain that helps bigger organizations automate operations, make data-driven decisions, and stay up to date automatically with AI. Right, so that's what they do. And it's basically what they're trying to do is like giving every department in business, finance, product, marketing, support, its own intelligent co-pilot, all connected in one system. That's their pitch. That's what they're doing. It's fascinating. So if Kushner wants a supercharged EA company after taking it private, this is the kind of platform that he could use to plug AI into every corner of the company, from game design to customer service, creating faster development, higher margins, and brand new revenue stream. So here's how this is going to be interesting, how he could actually use something like Brainco inside EA and turn it into an AI-powered gaming empire, right? So he bought the business for 55 billion. This is how it can become a trillion-dollar business. So here are some ideas, right? Number one, turn EA into an AI-powered studio. So what he can do is plug in enterprise AI platform, right? He can basically turn each studio team, so sports, Sims, Battlefield, gets an AI co-pilot for design, QA, localization. Think about it. If you're doing that, you can basically have 30 to 50% faster game development cycles, lower headcount cost, and it's not too bad, right? So that's what can happen here just with the AI powered studio, right? You take all those assets that you build over the years and you just do things better with higher margins. Number two that you can do is get an AI support agent to help EA with anything, basically center data to handle 80% of tickets of customer success, right? Think about it. Right now, you can have moderation bots for player forums. I'll just write those things down. Those are some of the things that you can do. And basically, it means millions in saved in support tickets and obviously happier players. Third thing you could do is create personalized game experiences, right? So obviously to use AI, machine learning, kind of like what Netflix and YouTube are trying to do, and just to adjust it in the game and difficulty. So doing all those things plus some smarter dynamic pricing for microtransactions, that means higher average spend per user, which means more money. Fourth thing that he can do is predictive monetization and ad targeting. Let's zoom in maybe so you guys could see better. Right, so to feed anonymous gameplay data into an AI model that forecasts which players are likely to spend or churn. Not too bad. And fifth thing, obviously AI for finance and operations, right? So you can automate financial planning, analysis, forecast different bookings, right? Another cool thing you could do is integrate with like new revenue streams, right? So imagine if you're going to integrate with the Saudi esports World Cup or offer some kind of adapted AI streaming compression or generative content licenses. This is the most, I think, interesting one. So imagine if you can create like content licensing. So let creators basically make AI generated sim worlds and AI take revenues. So if he's doing that in 3-5 years, if these inefficiencies, if these efficiencies are being done, it can basically increase EBITDA margins or margins in general for profits by 25 to 35%, right? That's kind of the exit strategy. Think about it, right? Increase the business by 40%, build, I don't know, 70, 80, $100 billion company. He owns 5% of that. Not too bad to build like a $5 billion basically net worth for himself within 3-5 years if everything is being done perfectly right. So that's the plan. That's the plan for Jared to become a billionaire, to go from where he's at right now to basically a multi-billionaire in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. This is a massive deal, the biggest leverage buyout of our lifetime. And yeah, easier said than done, of course. I mean, but can we take some of those lessons into small business? So what are the lessons? First of all, don't be afraid to go for big deals. Then, I mean, learn how you make money in a deal, right? All the different structures and places. Learn how to find deals, how to analyze them, how to raise capital, debt, and equity. And the biggest opportunity right now of our lifetime is to go into small businesses, to go into businesses in general, old school businesses, and implement AI in them, improve profitability, exit for a higher multiple in 3 to 5 years, maybe buy more companies into that mix, do a roll up, and exit. And that's what we do with acquisitions.com. We help you buy the first, second, third business, and then right now invested in an AI company that helps you implement everything AI in businesses to basically get better, more leads, more sales, better support, and improve profitability. So if you want help with any of those things, look at the links below and book a call with us. I appreciate you for taking the time. Let me know in the comments below what you think. If you liked it, then I'll try to do more of those videos. Take care. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon.